What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, it's Judgment Day of week 8, and welcome to another fantasy quickie, a late night fantasy quickie, and this could be a quick one. Of course, my name is JJT with Komish. Komish, how did your teams do?
Half. One half lost half. I'm in trouble in one of the leagues. I have Zach Lavine, Paul George, Jaren Jackson, CJ McCollum, Bojan Bogdanovic, Bogdanovic in that team. That is my team. It's a 16-team league, so it's a deep league. We only have one IL spot. So at least I got 4 or 5 this week, but I have lost Lavine, Paul George, one after the other, McCollum.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Well, at least Lavine is going to be hopefully a short-term one. Unlike,
did they say it's a short-term one?
Isn't it COVID?
Yeah, COVID. So it's like 10 days to 2 weeks. I mean,
you never know. Maybe he'll get positive results or negative results for 2 consecutive tests. So.
Yeah, but I'll update you guys. Like what can we do to in this situation? I've dropped Bogdan, so that's one out.
Yep, me too. I dropped Bogdan because
So now it's up to McCollum is in the IL because he's the guy who's gonna be out long. So I have Paul George and Lavine who are injured. So let's see. I mean, the 16-team league. So
this is the first week wherein I lost multiple 2-7s, and I even had a 1-8 in one league. And then the FBW leagues, I did pretty good there in the FBW leagues because I won 6-3, 7-2. So, but yeah, mixed emotions, mixed feelings about those.
For me, if you have one injured player, you're carrying one. I mean, not in the IL. I mean, in the active roster. I think you can compete. Like, I'm happy with one of our leagues. I had Lillard, Jalen, and OG. I was able to come back and at least make it respectable. Made it 4-5. So I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with that.
Sometimes you just have to analyze it that way. That if you had your stars, then that would have been a win probably for you guys. So let's talk about some of the players. RJ Barrett, COVID, right? COVID, Zach Lavine, Troy Brown, Precious Achiuwa, all COVID. COVID and positive. So
Troy Brown is also positive in Chicago. So that's 9 already with Ayo Dosunmu also positive. Derek Jones Jr. also positive. So the good news is Kobe White is coming back. So at least Kobe might help them the next game. DeRozan supposedly will be back the game after their next game. I think DeRozan might be back already then. So there are players who are coming back, so that's good. But Vucevic already got it, so I guess Lonzo's immunity is very good.
Pretty much Chicago pretty much had everyone.
Everyone, yes, almost everyone. Basically.
Right. And then, some injuries here. Luka out for the next 2 games. We talked about Luka a bit in the previous quickies. Jalen Brunson should be added, but I don't see Jalen Brunson's in the
Probably Dorian might I don't see any Dorian also, but in some 12-team leagues maybe he's there. Luka at least 2 games, but the way Jason Kidd talked about it seems like it's probably more than 2 games. So he might be out this week. There's a possibility he's out this week.
Lou Dort sprained his ankle. First half.
Bamba.
And then Bamba's played just 12 minutes today. He's also sprained his ankle. Anthony Davis was out. Jalen and Damian are gonna be back. So at least there's good news there.
Damian played today. Still the shooting 5 out of 17, 24 points. I mean, he had I think 9 rebounds or something, so that's good. But the shooting is still not there. I guess we'll have to accept it. He's not going to be shooting 46, 47% for the year. He's probably going to be 40, 41. Kind of like a Van Vliet situation this year. Sadly, he doesn't have the steals or the blocks like Van Vliet. So, so first round, I don't think so. Not this year for Lillard. I don't see it.
Yeah. And then, I guess the most worrying is the Paul George, Jimmy Butler thing. Especially for me, I have a team with Paul George and a lot of Jimmy Butlers.
We talked about Butler. We said if he have a 4-game road
trip. He did travel.
So that means, the third game in that road trip is Orlando. So he could join the team. I'm not too sure how near Orlando or Miami is, but he can join them there. But I think he's gonna miss the whole 4 games. I have a feeling he's probably gonna miss the whole 4 games.
Yeah, but if they're gonna do well in this, in the first couple of games, I think they'll they'll just let him rest and get him back after the road trip.
And that looks like, for me, I'll take that. I mean, just come back after, but make sure you're healthy. Make sure you're okay already.
Yeah. Mo Bamba though, not sure how, but he didn't return. So he just played, I think, the first half and did not return.
Yes.
So Chuma Okiki could be a good player to stream or add in case he's not yet added. There's not a lot of Chuma Okiki, although I just feel like there should be a lot of Chuma Okiki on the free the waiver wire.
Actually, if Bamba misses games, I'm not even that confident with Chuma. I actually recommending Robin Lopez. He played well today, and he has been playing well in limited minutes. I think
they played the 2 center.
Yes.
Right. Yes. They played the 2 centers setup, and they could move Lopez to the center and Wendell Carter to the power forward. Yes. As well, so he can fill in for Mo Bamba.
I think I'm gonna go Lopez here. Okiki, if you guys want to take a ad or a speculative ad, go. But I'm not too confident he's gonna be able to perform even without Bamba. He's not been good. He's not been good this year.
Yeah, not being good. Should in I think in 14 team leagues he should be dropped already. If in case you're still holding on to him.
Well, if you were holding to Chuma in the 14 team league, I don't know how. 2 things: either your team is so strong that you just stash a player like that, or you're not active and you just held on to him because you're not active with the ad drops.
So those are the injury updates. Just quickly, this is gonna be a quickie because it's kind of late. By players, we talked about Dorian Finney-Smith. Quentin Grimes of New York played. So
over for RJ Barrett.
Yeah. And Kemba did not play.
Exactly. I mean, unbelievable.
So it looks like there's really just that falling out thing between the Knicks and Kemba. I just feel like, but I kind of sense that he's still gonna play. I feel like at one point this season they're gonna play him. Maybe there's some because I know he has some knee issues right before.
Maybe he hasn't played for a week or more, so I guess his knees should be fine right now.
Yeah. But yeah, Quentin Grimes in deeper leagues. Most of these guys are for deep league ads, I guess.
And Fernie Simons, we can talk about Portland's situation. They started Larry Nance over Robert Covington. So their new starting 5 is Damian Lillard, Powell, Little, Nance, and Yusuf Nurkic. So it's a very big lineup. Big lineup. So I don't know if it's a matchup thing or what, but interestingly, Larry Nance played well. He had 12 rebounds today. I mean, not too good, but okay.
Should be an ad.
I think so. I think in 14 teams, not 12 teams. In 14
the last time he started, people went adding him.
Yes.
And then the next game,
But he didn't start. I don't think did he start? I don't think he started. He just played more, I think.
I think there was a game where he started.
No, there
I
was
think
a
he
game where
played off the bench a good game. Then the next game he started. Then after that he went back to the bench, I think. If I'm not
um
mistaken, I couldn't exactly remember. But anyway, there was this news. I think what triggered that was the news that there will be some lineup changes with
yes,
Portland,
yes,
and that was
yes.
one of the
Yes.
early lineup changes they made. But he pulled off a Melton type of disappearing act for managers, like, right? I mean, Melton used to
Yes.
be the player like that add Melton, and then when he plays well, then when you add him, he suddenly disappears for
I
you.
think I think with Larry Nance, that will be the situation also. But he's
Yeah,
starting. If he's starting, he can help in low end help. He can get rebounds. Very good rebounder. He's a very good guy in steals, not in blocks as much, but in steals. So those low end numbers he can help. So he can be added in 14 team.
yeah.
Now the ad that I was saying as number one ad was Anferny Simons, and we
It
already
shouldn't,
told you.
in the first place, he shouldn't even be there in a
Yeah,
14
but
team.
he just returned today, so maybe other people were late in adding. So I hope we were able to get him. I think he's not starting, but I think even if he's not starting, he can just plug into the CJ role. He's just going to be plugged into the CJ role as a secondary ball handler of the team when Lillard rests, or even when together with Lillard, he played a lot of minutes together with Lillard. The difference with him and CJ, even if he's playmaking point guard or whatever, he's not a good passer. He's
Yeah.
not a good assist player. He's
No,
basically a
he's a,
3 point
yeah.
and shooter guy. And one of our friends who got Anferny in another league I saw was offering him to people, and I think that would be a good thing to do. You try to see, well, people know Anferny Simons will be the CJ replacement. I mean, let's see what you can get.
And he should be good for the next what, 3, 4, 6 weeks,
Maybe, yes, 4 to 6 weeks. Yes.
and that's a big plus. So do you buy
Yes.
it though? How do you buy on Anthony Simons?
How do you buy him? That is tough. That is tough. You won't probably get a really, really good player, but maybe if you can stretch it until the top 110, 120, I will still take that because he's a very one-dimensional guy. He's basically like a Clarkson, maybe, or a Duncan Robinson. So if you can get a more well-rounded player, maybe. Well, it could have been Robert Covington. I would have said Robert Covington, but he had 5 steals, 4 blocks a day. So I don't think the manager would be disposing him right now. But try it in the future, in the next few games. Try to see a more well-rounded player. A player who can give you more stats in different categories than just unfair. And of course, if you want points and threes, then go ahead and ride him until McCollum comes back. So
Yeah, so Anthony Simons is the top ad, at least
yes.
for today. Yeah, who else? Saban Lee, Frank Jackson, some of the Detroit guys.
Yes. Jeremy Grant had the update. He's out. He's gonna be re-evaluated in 6 weeks, which we got. We said that the thumb like Bama de Bayo, 6 weeks,
Yeah,
and I think that would be extended. Just re-evaluation in 6 weeks, not necessarily 6 weeks, but in 6 weeks that puts you in February.
yeah. So
So
that's pretty much best case scenario after the All Star break.
yes. So that's gonna be week 16, week 15, week 16, about the end of your regular season at the tail end. So now what happened in Detroit? Saban Lee played over Corey Joseph. Frank Jackson got more minutes. Diallo started. So for me, those three, you could maybe the level, whatever level you're looking for. If you want upside, I'm gonna go Lee. I think Lee in 14 teams might be a good, solid stash upside pick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want somebody more sure, low end, but you have sure stats, that would be Frank Jackson. He had 5 threes today. So
Yeah.
you could choose. You could choose among those. And speaking of Detroit, Stewart still didn't do anything. And Sadiq Bey was still, garbage. Actually, even worse.
I actually saw this Twitter post from Dan Besbris, and I thought that it was a great idea. If you have an IL, you might want to stash already on Kelly Olynyk.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
So I saw that. I'm not saying I said it, but I saw it from Dan Besbris' post, and I felt like, oh, that's a great idea because how many weeks he been out? He's probably going to be out until maybe early January. Maybe he'll be back early January or mid January.
Actually, he's been out 6 weeks already, so he should be nearing a return
anytime soon, right? So,
but they're not updating. Sometimes they'll just surprise you. But I don't have any Olynyk floating in my waiver wires. But maybe you guys.
There are some. There are some in my other leagues. I also stashed a few already before because I had him in a lot of leagues. So so yeah, that might be a good idea because the way the Pistons are going, there's really not much there to use.
The Olynyk one, the Olynyk news or recommendation, that's a good one. For me, if Olynyk comes back, for sure. I mean, get Diallo out, get Frank Jackson out. I mean, even Lyles, even Bay. Olynyk will be the guy they will play, and will just plug in Jeremy Grant's role. For sure. I mean, he's different player than Grant, but the usage, the skill, the veteran, whatever leadership and anything, it's perfect.
He just has so much skill set in him that you can use him in a lot of ways. He can facilitate, he can score, he can defend a bit, right? So yeah. Those are our bye players. Taylor Horton Tucker has been playing well. But again, there was no AD today. So hopefully AD comes back because I'm pretty sure some AD managers are a little bit worried.
Yes. They posted not they. Somebody posted a video of him shooting before the game a while ago. He didn't look injured, so I mean maybe it's because it's Orlando and it was OKC, so maybe they wanted him. He felt a little soreness in his knees, and they just said, okay, since we can deal with his teams, just rest it out and come back, healthy 100%. So I'm 100% okay with that. Sometimes that's better than just forcing yourself to play and then getting a catastrophic injury.
Yep.
So I'm not that worried yet. If he misses another game, then I would say that this is something else. This might not just be a sword.
If he misses this week, I wouldn't be as worried. But if he still misses next week, I mean, not this week. Half of this week. Yeah, it's a new week, by the way. So I just kind of forgot it's a new week.
Yeah, it's a new week. So, but if he misses one more game, I think there's not really something wrong because, as they said, the MRI was clean.
Yeah.
So there was no structural damage. So maybe that's why I'm not that worried. I'm just saying that if he misses another game, then it could be, even if there's no structural damage, it could be something like, whatever, muscle or anything. So that might be a concern. But I don't think he's gonna miss the next game. I don't think so. I think he's gonna play.
Yeah. So those are bye players. Worry players. Let's skip Evan Fournier because he's been there for quite a while. Saddiq Bey. He's been disappointing, I would say, this season.
Yeah, Fournier also. Barrett is out. That's why I put him there. Barrett is out. Then it's Quentin Grimes who performs. I mean, come on. What do you need? And then Saddiq Bey. I don't have Bay. I don't have a Bay, but if I drafted Bay, I would not have been rostering him right now at this point.
Yeah.
I would have dropped him way before, maybe weeks in advance. So the problem now is if you held him this long and then Jeremy Grant is out, even if he scored 4 points, 2 rebounds today, it's like,
probably just hold on.
How do you drop him right now? I mean, right? How do you drop him? I don't know if I could drop him right now.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Another guard having a disappointing year, Devonte Graham. I'm actually disappointed with Devonte Graham because in Charlotte, he can pull out some 12 assists, 13, 14 assist games. This season, nothing close to that.
Do you have a Graham this season?
I have one.
Okay. Me too. I have one.
So that's just my worry. I drafted him for, maybe I know the field goal wouldn't be as good, but surprisingly, it's not bad this season.
Yeah, but we both, I think, agree that when we drafted him, we looked at he's a starting 5 now in New Orleans.
Yep.
So we thought with Lonzo out, he's now the point guard there.
Right.
We were thinking the assists and everything would be, the usage, the everything. He was gonna get all the opportunities. And so far, I don't know his stats, but he doesn't have at least 6 assists, at least 4.5 to 5 assists maybe a game.
I mean, at least the field goal is better than last season. But if you look at it, I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers last season were a little bit better than this season.
Well, the field goal last season I think was 32, 33.
Yeah, so the field goal has been bad. So I'm pretty sure
it's better. It's 39. So
this year, yeah.
30, I mean, we're happy with the 39% already.
No, but I'm not really. I mean, I'm talking about the counting stats, right?
The counting stats. Last year was better.
Particularly the assists, because I picked him for those types of stats. The assists, maybe a steals here and there, and a little, threes, some threes. Because last year he was quite okay. With those counting stats. So
interestingly, the guy that he replaced, Lonzo, is also disappointing in assists. I mean, also not what we expected. We expected more from both of these guys, but at least Lonzo has been, has some good games and has been all around helping. Graham, especially lately, it's been really bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's in that giddy type of range, right?
I think we could talk about Giddy. I didn't put him in the worry player, but I think we could put him in the worry players also. 6.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers, and I think 3 out of 13 field goal wise. And I'm gonna say this again and again. I love Giddy. I have 3 or 4 Giddys in my teams, but it doesn't look really promising right now. He's killing my field goal.
12 team drop.
I would say if you have a good replacement, I would not be adverse to dropping him in 12. I have in a 12-team league. I have him. I'm holding on to him because I'm waiting for the time to dispose of him. But he has cost me a lot of field goal and free throws, a lot of weeks in field goal and free throws. The 1 week I was 7-2, I won field goal and free throw. I rested him, and that's what I was telling you. I was in my IL plus. And I won. My field goal was 50 something%. My free throw was almost 80. This week I played him. I mean, it's bad. Good thing next week they only have 2 games, so hopefully he doesn't kill my field goal.
I have him in one of the FBW leagues, but I think I'm close to punting field goals there because I have James Harden, I have Levert. I have those guards that are not really known for their good field goal, but I think the free throws is a little bit offset because of I have Harden and I've got some good guards there that can shoot free throws. So somehow I'm doing okay. I'm 5th or 6th there. So we'll see. I haven't dropped him in 14, but I have him at 12 and thinking about dropping him.
But right now, I mean, whatever the Wagner versus Giddy story, it's far. Like Wagner today, 20 points again and 4 assists, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, and Wagner could feast if Bamba misses more time. Could be
Yes. And speaking of Wagner and Giddy and Cade was also good today, although he had 7 turnovers. But these guys, Wagner, Cade, Barnes, I think they are now separating themselves from Giddy and
Mobley.
Mobley is way ahead. Mobley is probably his own tier.
Yeah.
And then these 3 players, Giddy should not be included in these 3 players unless he improves his field goal and free throw. And if not for the time where SGA was out, where he had a great run when SGA was out, he probably won't be even a top 150 this year.
Yeah.
Giddy might not be. So I'm a Giddy fan, but I think it's not yet.
Giddy could be a little closer to the Sengun side of things. Unfortunately for Giddy, he has the minutes already.
Yes.
Yes. and Sengun has not had the minutes yet, at least consistently. So yeah, I guess we can end there. We talked about some of the feel good, particularly Cade. Cade was could be a lot better without Jeremy Grant. So we'll see about the performance of Cade, but he has shown really good promise.
He is gonna be a top 50 guy. Rest of the season, not for the year because it started slow and the injuries. But for the rest of the season, if you count it from now to the rest of the season, he will be in the top 50. He will be in the top 50, like Bobby Portis, which is another feel good player.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, Bobby Portis sell high?
How high? But yeah, if you can get a top 50 guy, yeah, I'll sell high. But if you say, let's say, like Robert Williams, I might choose Portis this year because I just think like he has also improved his blocks. Not as good as Robert Williams, but he's 1.1, so that's not bad. And he has scoring and everything. And there's no challenge to his season anymore. Yeah, there's no more Brook Lopez. So Portis would be top 70. I think Portis would be top 70. He's inside the top 50. And people will not mention his name if you say waiver wire pickup of the year, right? We would never take him right away.
We were talking. I could really remember we were talking about Bobby Portis early on.
Yes.
And I'm frustrated that I didn't add as many Bobby Portis as I can, because I have him in a few leagues, but I could still remember there were some leagues where I just didn't add him.
I got him in one of our leagues in the free agency pool. And
the Dynasty.
Yes, in the Dynasty.
I have him in the other league. I have him in the other league. So
and we said it at that time that he was injured, but pick him up and wait for him to come back. It's okay. He's about to come back.
He was actually, this is what happened with Bobby Portis. People probably added him and he came back but didn't play as well.
Yes.
Early on. And some people dropped him. And I think I myself dropped him in a few leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, maybe 1 or 2 leagues I dropped him because he wasn't playing well. But yeah, and then when he was, he started to recover, he played better and better until he was more consistent. So yeah, Bobby Portis, feel good player, could battle maybe Miles as one of the breakout players this year.
Yes, I would probably go Miles, but it's close. It's
the
close
jump
now.
though of Miles. I mean, Miles would probably be with Bamba, those guys, because they're way higher than Portis.
Well, I think Bamba is higher. Miles has gotten lower. Miles has dropped. So I think Miles right now is just neck and neck with Bobby Portis. They're near in the ranks. So maybe those 3 would be Cole Anthony, of course, there's another guy there that has also had a breakout. But if you're talking about waiver, I'm not sure. I'm thinking right now if Bobby Portis was picked. But I think
not in all leagues. Probably not in all leagues. But you're right. Leagues. If a waiver wire player, probably Bobby Portis. Cole Anthony would be.
Wow, Cole Anthony.
He wasn't really drafted as much, right?
That's true.
And even if he was drafted, he was dropped early on. So, and the leap has been really, really high. Those guys. I'm still thinking if there's 1 or 2 more.
With Bobby Portis this year, he's all-time high in field goal and blocks. Points also, but points is just a little bit, 15 point something from 14 point something. Rebounds a little bit also, but the blocks is big. He's never known to be a blocker, and he's 0.4 now is 1.1. So I don't know if this is a Gary Trent situation where suddenly he becomes a steals guy when he never really stole a lot. So can he sustain this? That's the question. I think it will go down. I think it will go down below 1. That's why I'm not confident he's going to be a top 50 guy for the rest of the year. But even if it goes below a little bit, I think top 70, at the worst, top 80 for Bobby Portis, I think.
Yeah. So, Bobby Portis, congratulations if you have him in your lineups. Yeah, if you get those, that's fantasy for you guys. never say never, never lose hope. If you're fast on the waiver wire pickups, you'll get some gems there. And these types of players, right? I mean, Caruso is another player who was not as highly drafted, or not even drafted. He was even ranked 200 something, right? Way, way, way down there.
So our job right now is to find the next Portis and Caruso for the next half of the season, because there will be players like that for the next half of the season. And maybe we'll give you some names in the future who we think could be that next half breakout guy.
We look at the tanking teams like what we did last year.
I mean, the one of our buy players, Saban D, I think has potential. If I'm going to see if Corey Joseph really is out of the rotation, because he was not part of the rotation. Saban D played today and Corey Joseph was a DNP. But two games before, Corey Joseph was almost questionable with some knee problem. So I don't know if, of course, they didn't update his injury update for Corey Joseph, because probably they didn't care about him anymore. But we have to find more news. If it is really gonna be Saban D as a backup, that he has potential. He has potential also.
Yeah, and last year, he was one of the, he was used as well in fantasy teams for a period of time.
And Killian Hayes injured his thumb again today, but he did return. But we never know. We never know with his thumb things this year.
And this year, the thumb has really been the one target.
The year of the thumb.
Yeah, year of the thumb. And last year was the year of the toes. All right, so that's it for our Daily Fantasy Quickie. It's a short one, but hopefully it was helpful for you guys. And good luck on week 9. And we'll see you again for another Daily Fantasy Quickie tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.